Prabhupada ki Samaveta Gauravinda ki Sai Gaura Premanande. Okay, so start now. I am reading there. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaura Bhakta Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama संगीत भक्तवृंद की श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य महाप्रभु की गौर प्रेमानंदे वंदे गुरून् ईश भक्तान् ईशम् ईशवतारकान् तत्प्रकाशं तत्शक्ति कृष्ण चैतन्य संयुतम् वंदे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानंदो सहोदितो गौरादये पुष्पवन्तो चित्रौ छन्दोतमो जगद्वैतगम्पनिषदि तदप्यस्य तनुवा यात्मान्तर्यामि पुरुषैति सस्यां शारिणो षडैश्वर्या पूर्णजाहि Bhagavan Sasvayam Mayam Na Chaitanya Krishna Jagati Paratatvam Param Namo Mahavadanya Krishna Prema Parayate Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gurupushe He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhasute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhakti Hare Krishna. When we are driving on the road, Mataji told me today is Father's Day. Huh? Today is very, very important day. Huh? Father's Day. Have you all respected your father? Did you respect your father? What's your name? Sriya. What is your father's name? Suresh. You know who is Suresh? The Isa of the Suras. The father of the demigods. Who is that? Huh? Come on. Krishna. Okay. So who did you respect? Did you respect Suresh? Yes. Who is that? Yeah, okay. Your father is also kind of serving Krishna in that way. He is respectable. Right? Yes. So Krishna is our eternal father. Bija Sarvabhutana. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, you know that I am the shield-giving father. Bija Sarvabhutana. In all species of life, he is the shield-giving father. So Krishna has told like this, and Arjuna also he tells after Krishna revealed in his universal form, and Arjuna was very much afraid to see this ghastly manifestation of Krishna as Vishwarup form. Then he starts also praising him. Pita Silokasya Charatarasya Namasya Punjasya. Oh, Prabhupada says Krishna is worshipable as a son worships his father. So, yes, today is Father's Day, and the whole world is engaged in worshipping their biological father. But they don't know who is actually their real biological father. Their father who has given them this body, they think he is their father. Of course, we don't deny on that, and they are your father. But at the same time, Krishna is the judge of father. Because he is the creator, he is the maintainer, he is everything. for us. So therefore, we should know our Father quite well today, right? So what do you want to know about your father? Your father is a brahmachari or grihastha? Come on. Huh? Your father is a brahmachari or grihastha? Whoa, this is an interesting father. Your biological father cannot claim simultaneously is a brahmachari as well as is a grihastha. Huh? Can you say? This is how you know Krishna is claiming I am father. He is father for me. He can be brahmachari, but still he can be father for millions and billions of living entities. 84 lakhs jeev joni. There are 8,400,000 species of life. That is the beauty of our Krishna. That Krishna can be a brahmachari and he can also be father. Right? You know how Krishna became brahmachari? Krishna is brahmachari. He went 6,800 maces in Dwarka. He's performing a, like normal rest of life. How is he brahmachari? Huh? He's dancing with the Gopis and Vrindavan. So sometimes some people, they come across some kind of narrations through the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. They become confused. Why? Because they have got this material body and they try to see everything from material perspective. But Krishna is not a subject matter to be studied under material vision. So as long as we are infected with our polluted materialistic understandings, we cannot understand. We will remain always confused. Of course, for the past time's sake, we know Brajavasis, they have a very beautiful tradition. What is the tradition? Nobody will go hungry in Vrindavan. If the Brajavasis, they see somebody is doing his bhajan, his sadhana, without even going to the Brajavasi's house or begging, that is called madhukari. You know madhukari? They will go from door to door, they will ask for some roti to survive. And there are some sadhus, they don't go out actually. They just sit in one place. They don't do their sadhana. And sometimes the Brajavasi, they get disturbed to see why this Baba is not going to beg the food. So what's going on with him? Then they will go to this Baba. They say, Baba, where are you sitting like that for so many days? You are not going out for begging and you are not eating anything. Okay, so here is prasadam for you. So once upon a time, there was a great yogi. With that, Durvasa. You know this Durvasa, right? Very, very angry personality. So he's sitting on the other side of the Yamuna and doing his sadhana. And Brajavasis are Brajavasis. They are very kind. Brajavasis heart is very pure. So when they saw this Baba is sitting in one place, he's not going to beg food for his survival from anybody's house. So they decided to bring some food for the Baba. But he's sitting on the other side of the Yamuna. And Gopis came to know he needs some food, so we have to go, but he's not going out. What to do? Now we have to bring food for him. And you have to bring food to him means they have to cross Yamuna. Yamuna is filled with water. So what to do? How to cross? The ladies, they can't cross, right? Unless somebody helps. So, who they can go? The Gopis, they went to Krishna. So, Krishna said, all right. We'll have. And so somehow that they kind of, they didn't go to Krishna actually. They, from the Jamuna, they went to this Baba. And after going there, they fed him nicely. So after they fed him, then they were saying, so now how to go back? Because at time when they were returning, Jamuna was kind of filled with water. When they went, by Krishna's mercy, Jamuna gave way to them. Krishna told them, they said, you go and tell Jamuna that if Krishna is a brahmachari, then Jamuna will give you the way. They said, you are always doing Shimita, you are brahmachari. Krishna said, I am telling you, you just go, you tell Jamuna Devi. If Jamuna Devi gives you that means I am brahmachari. You know this. This is okay. So they went and they told Jamuna Devi, Krishna is brahmachari, please give us because we have to go to this Baba. And Jamuna gave the way. And after they went to the other side of the river, then they fed this Muni, Durvasa Muni, he ate everything. Then they said, Baba, please tell us how can we go back? Because now Jamuna again, filled with water, so how to go? How to get the way out? Then this Muni said, well, go and tell Jamuna, if Durvasa Muni has not eaten anything, so please give us the way. Baba, we get so much prasadam for you, ate everything. Now you are saying you have not eaten anything? And we have to tell Jamuna, if Durvasa Muni has not eaten anything, you give us way? You should just go and tell. Like Guru, like disciple. Guru is saying, he is brahmachari. Jamuna is giving the way. And disciple is saying, he has not eaten anything when he has eaten everything. And Jamuna also gave the way. Anyway, so here Krishna is actually brahmachari. Why did Jamuna get way? Huh? So when outside people, they read Srimad Bhagavatam, especially without going for the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, they directly jump into the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. They actually misunderstand Krishna. Therefore, Prabhupada has always recommended us repeatedly that we should study Bhagavatam beginning from the first canto. And as you know, in the first canto, there are almost, touch of every canto. You can see there is, Srishti Tattva, there is his Vrindavan pastime, his Mathura pastime, his Dwaraka pastime, in a very short form it is narrated. And when you read from the first canto, then go to the second canto, third canto like this, by the time one reaches 10th, 9th canto, he will become purified of material contaminations. And then when he enters into 10th canto, then he can actually release the real self pastimes of Krishna. So our Prabhupada, he has said that if somebody reads only first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is no need to read any other thing. I myself also find a lot of satisfaction in reading the purport to the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So I was thinking we should read one verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, which discusses about the position of Krishna, even though he performs his pastimes with the devotees, which is commonly misunderstood by the materialistic people. So we know Krishna, who gave this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. At that time, Krishna was performing Dwaraka pastime. He was in Dwaraka. And Krishna always wanted to assist, help his elder brother, Yudhishthira. Krishna always considered Yudhishthira Maharaj as his brother. Whenever Krishna came to meet with Yudhishthira Maharaj, he will touch his feet and he will offer him his respect. He considered he is my brother, Supreme Personality of God. So Krishna definitely wanted Yudhishthira Maharaj to become the ruler of the world. And as you know, it so happened that these impious rulers, they became the burden of the earth. Krishna wanted to remove them. So, and then he had this Kurukshetra battle, where he also got hit. And after the battle was over, then Maharaj Yudhishthira, he became king. So, before Kurukshetra battle, Arjuna was confused. After Kurukshetra battle, Yudhishthira Maharaj became confused. So now Krishna obeyed Yudhishthira Maharaj what to do. He said, no, I cannot free myself from the sin I have committed by killing my relatives, my guru. No. So what should I do? Krishna and other rishis, they were trying to convince Yudhishthira Maharaj. Then they said finally, well, Yudhishthira, there is an injunction in Shastra. Shastra says, if a king performs Ashwamedha Yajna, then he can become free from the sins committed. Yudhishthira Maharaj became more, sad. He said, what? I have killed my relatives and I have become sinful. Again, you are asking me to kill horses? Then you still want me to enter more sin? What do you mean by? Can you clean a pot with muddy water? Can you purify a pot which is impure by the touch of the wine, by washing the pot with the wine? Sometimes people, such a nice logic, right? No, he is just playing. Sometimes for devil's advocate. Anyway, so Yudhishthira Maharaj is giving such arguments, and that was also by the desire of Krishna. Because Krishna wanted to glorify his Lord. Then Krishna said to Yudhishthira Maharaj, my dear brother, all right, you don't listen to me, that's fine. You are not convinced by the counsel of the yogis, the rishis, all right. But I'll tell one thing. I hope you will understand. So what? See, Bhishmadev is still there. We should go and ask Bhishmadev, what is the right approach? Yudhishthira said, yes, I'll go to Bhishmadev. Then it says that Krishna, all the Pandavas, Draupadi, Kunti, they came to see and the battlefield of Krishna, Kurukshetra, where Bhishmadev was lying, the bed of arrows. And then, as you know, Yudhishthira Maharaj, different questions, and Bhishmadev, he gave a very nice, clear explanation that he explained Mahabharata in detail. Mahabharata gave a very synopsis of the discussion. And then finally everything was settled. And then Krishna came back. Now Yudhishthira Maharaj became the king. And he started to rule the kingdom. And Krishna said, okay, I am also a grihastha. I have a lot of responsibility. You have only one family to take care. Okay, you have become the king. I am also Dwarkadhish. And I have got 16,000 family. Can you imagine how much responsibility I am having? So now I need to go. Yudhishthira Maharaj said, all right, no problem. Then he so arranged, nice chariot, Satyaki was there, Arjuna was there, and also Yudhishthira Maharaj was really very much concerned about Krishna. Now, Krishna has created so much enmity, right? So many kings are killed. So when he is going alone, there might be attack. Okay? So Yudhishthira Maharaj gave nice, army. And Krishna went to Dwarka. So in that section, when Krishna entered Dwarka, towards the end, Sutta Goswami is explaining that Krishna, even though he is a normal Grihastha, but when he came to Dwarka, he entered into 16,000 palaces. But he says, in that connection, he remembers Krishna's Vrindavan past to glorify how Krishna is great and his pastime should never be misunderstood by anyone. There's a verse where the Goswami says, Uddamaha sapisuna Brida balokanihato madano pijasa sammohya chapamajahat pramadottamasta jasyendriyam vimathitum guhakairna seku Uddamaha sapisuna malabalguhasa Brida balokanihato madano pijasa sammohya chapamajahat pramadottamasta jasyendriyam vimathitum guhakairna seku Uddam. Say Uddam. Very grave. Bhava. Expression. Pisuna. Exciting. Amala. Spotless. Balbhasa. Beautiful smile. Brida. Corner of the eye. Amala, Avaloka, looking. Nihata, conquered. Madana, Cupid. Or Madana, the greatly tolerant Shiva. Api also. Yasam, whose Samviha, being overpowered by Chapam, war. Ajahat, gave up. Pramada, woman. Who maidens. Uttamaha, of high grade. Ta, all. Yasya, whose. Indriyam, senses. Vimathitum, to patat. Uhakahi, by magical feats. No, never. Seku was able. The Goswami said. Although the queen's beautiful smiles and fruity glances were all spotless and exciting, and although they could conquer Cupid himself by making him give up his bow in frustration, and although even the tolerant Shiva could fall victim to them, still, despite all their magical feats and attractions, they could not agitate the senses of the Lord. as I was asking that whether Krishna is a grihastha or brahmachari. So sometimes some people say he's just like any human being. He is also very much attached to his wives. Huh? And he is a perfect grihastha. Some people say he's a griha maybe. Because in Dwaraka pastime, if you hear Krishna, all these 16,108 palaces are filled with all material that is necessary to have a very comfortable life. Anything they wanted, because they are in the palace. He was enjoying to the utmost capacity. So how can you say he is not attached to the grihastha life? He is very much attached. So remembering this, and that he is just like an ordinary human being. So these verses have been spoken to enlighten us about who actually real Krishna is. Krishna should never be misunderstood. Prabhupada is giving a very beautiful purport. I wanted to read that for the purport. The path of salvation or the path going back home always forbids the association of women. And the complete Sanatana Dharma or Varnashram Dharma scheme forbids or restricts association with. How then can one be accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is addicted to more than 16,000 wives? Nobody asked the question. In fact, this question has been asked by just acharyas. This question may be relevantly raised by inquisitive persons really anxious to know about the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord. And to answer such questions, the sages at Naimisharanya have discussed the transcendental character of the Lord in this and in following verses. It is clear herein that the feminine attractive features which can conquer Cupid or even the supermost tolerant Lord Shiva could not conquer the senses of the Lord. Cupid's business is to invoke mundane lust. The whole universe is moved, being agitated by Cupid's arrow. The activities of the world are being carried on by the central attraction of male and female. A male is searching after a mate to his liking. The female is looking after a suitable man. That is the way of material stimulus. And as soon as a male is combined with a female, the material bondage of the living being is at once tightly interlocked by sex relation. And as a result of this, both the males and females' attraction for sweet home, motherland, bodily offspring, society, and friendship, and accumulation of wealth becomes the illusory field of activities. And thus, a false but indefatigable attraction for the temporary material existence, which is full of miseries, is manifest. Those who are therefore on the path of salvation for going back to Godhead are especially advised by all scriptural instruction to become free from such paraphernalia of material attraction. And that is possible only by the association of devotees of the Lord who are called the Atmas. Cupid throws his arrow upon the living beings to make them made after the opposite sex. whether the party is actually beautiful or not. Cupid's provocations are going on, even among these societies, who are all ugly looking in the estimation of the civilized nations. Thus, Cupid's influence is exerted even amongst the ugliest forms. And what to speak of the most perfect beauties, Lord Shiva, who is considered to be most tolerant, was also struck by Cupid's arrow because he also became made after the Mohini incarnation of the Lord and acknowledged himself to be defeated. Cupid, however, was himself captivated by the grave and exciting dealings of the goddesses of fortune, and he voluntarily gave up his bow and arrow in a spirit of frustration. Such was the beauty and attraction of the queens of the Lord. Yet they could not disturb the transcendental senses of the Lord. This is because the Lord is all perfect Atmana, or self-sufficient. He does not require anyone's extraneous help for his personal satisfaction. Therefore, the queens could not satisfy the Lord by their feminine attractiveness, but they satisfied him by their sincere affection and service. Only by unalloyed devout transcendental loving service could they satisfy the Lord, and the Lord was pleased to treat them as wives in reciprocation. Thus, being satisfied by their unalloyed service only, the Lord reciprocated the service just like a devout husband. Otherwise, he had no business becoming the husband of so many wives. He is the husband of everyone, but to one who accepts him as such, he reciprocates. This unalloyed affection for the Lord is never to be compared to mundane lust. It is purely transcendental, and the grave dealings which the queens displayed in natural feminine ways were also transcendental because the feelings were expressed out of transcendental ecstasy. It is already explained in the previous verse that the Lord appeared like a mundane husband, but actually his relation with his wife was transcendental, pure and unconditioned by the modes of material nature. It's a very nice and elaborate purport even the Prabhupada has given, but still it requires some more clarification, like when Prabhupada is saying, for example, uh, the queens could not satisfy the Lord by their feminine attractiveness, but they satisfied him by their sincere affection and service. What is their sincere affection and service they had to offer? Why? Why they are doing it? What in what level? How can you say they are out of the mundane relation? You see, the unalloyed affection for the Lord is never to be compared to mundane lust. It is purely transcendental. How? How to understand the dealing between Krishna and the gopis are not on the mundane platform. Their feeling, their dealings are transcendental. How to understand this? So you can see this verse, a very, very nice verse. It's a kind of, it can be studied while meditating the desires of Krishna, the how Krishna is. Uddama has Krishna Balbhas. Amal Balbhas. And Vida Golopa Nihato Madano Pijas. Some Mudattamasta, Jasyandriyam Bhimatatam Purpayanase. There are so many pastimes are being reminded from this one verse. So one pastime here explained about the Rasa pastime. When Krishna he called for Rasa dance in the mid of night by playing on his flute, and the devotees, the gopis, they came and so they're supposed to perform the dance, Rasa dance. And in one occasion, it so happened that Kamdev, he is thinking, now I am the one who attracts everybody, right? The attraction between opposite sex is based on the arrow which is shot by the Kamdev. So he was thinking, I can go and I can also play my role with the Krishna and the gopis. And when he went there, so what happened? Samuya Chapamajaha Pramodattamasta. These gopis, they have been defined as for a Pramodottama, Uttama. Ut means above. Tama means ignorance. They are actually above ignorance. They are not to be taken as mundane and ordinary women. And they are Uttama. Also another meaning is they are the top grade ladies, the feminine principles. Why? Because it's saying that Samuya Chapam Ajahan. Amadev, he is always ready to shoot the arrow through his bow to allure the opposite sex. But then he came there and he fainted actually. How he fainted? He is saying here, Uddama Bhavo Visuna Malavalvas and Bidavalokan. Bidavalokan means here the gopis' eyebrows have been defined as the arrow. And their Bida Avalokan means their sizeness glance from the corner have been defined as the arrow which is shooting from the eyebrow, which is like a ball of the gopis. And that could not even attract Krishna. Krishna was in his own world. He is very happy. Atmaram. And when Kamdev he saw this, he went fainted because the gopis are so beautiful. The beauties of the gopis cannot be described by any material beauty in this world. So he went fainted somewhere. Then Chapam Ajahan, he gave up his bow and arrow. He said, no, this is not my duty. I cannot do anything to attract Krishna towards these gopis. So who are these gopis? But sometimes the Mahisi, Krishna is also attracted. In Vrindavan, he is performing Rasa pastime with them out of attraction. So how to understand this? So we need to understand who are these gopis? Who is Radharani? For example, we say in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Krishna Kaviraj Goswami explains Radha Krishna Eka. Radha and Krishna one. There is no difference. Okay? But they have been eternally existing, assuming two different bodies. Anyanya Vilasadas Ashwadam. They enjoy each other. Anyanya Vilasadas. Ashwadam, testing the mellow flow. So in Padma Puran, it explains about the position of Srimati Radha. Padma Puran, there is one part called Patal Khanda. In Padma Puran, Patal Khanda, Lord Shiva, he is speaking to Radha. He is saying Radhika Paradevata. Srimati Radharani, the Supreme Goddess. Sarva Lakshmi Swarupa. These Lakshmis in the Vaikuntha, they are the embodiment of Srimati Radha. Sarva Lakshmi Swarupa. Sa Krishna Lada Swarupa. She is the pleasure giving potency of Krishna. Therefore, Tataha Sa Pachyute Vipra Ladiniti Manishi. Therefore, she has been defined by the Manishis as the pleasure giving potency of Lord Krishna. Satu Sakshat Mahalakshmi Krishna Narayana Prabhu Naito Vidyate Vedam Solpopi Nisattam. You should know, Narad, the chief of the Munis, there is no difference between Radha and Krishna. They are actually one. So, in Brahma Samhita, we know that is this famous verse, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitavi Stavirya Eva Nijarupataya Kalabhi Goloko Eva Nivasatya Kilatvam Bhuto Govindam Adi Purusam Tamaham Bhajami. So Krishna, he enjoys his pastimes with the gopis and Vrindavan, primarily with Radharani. And who are they? Brahma very clearly explains the position of the Lakshmi Radharani and the gopis in this verse. Who are they? Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. Chinmaya Rasa. If you see the dictionary meaning of this Chinmaya, Chinmaya means consisting of pure thought. Consisting of pure thought. Okay. So Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavita. Pratibhavita. Every time there is an expression of sweet amorous love or experience of the sweet amorous love between Krishna and the gopis. Particularly Krishna, he enjoys pastimes with Srimati Radharani. And just now we read from Patal Khanda, reference that Gopi Naitoyor Vidyate Vedam. There is no difference between both of them. So in that way, if there is not even Radha and Krishna, then what about the other gopis? Therefore, Radharani also, she told to Narada that Ahamcha Lalita Devi Radhika Rachari. That me, who is known as Radhika, and Lalita Sakhi actually means Lalita Sakhi and other Sakhis are the expansions of the pleasure-giving potency of Lord Krishna. Therefore, it has been said, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitavi Tavi Eva Nijarupataya Kala. Nijarupataya Kala means, while commenting on this Kala, his Lord Jiva Goswami says, Ladini Shakti Vrittirupavi. That means the gopis are the real embodiment of the pleasure-giving potency of Krishna, that is Srimati Radha. To be more clear about means Krishna, since time immemorial, he is existing as Radha and Krishna. You cannot say that the time when Radharani was created, when Krishna was not there. Or when Krishna was there, Radharani was not there. No. When you speak about Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not only Radharani, not Balram, everything in the spiritual world you see is now Swarupa Shakti, or you can say Sis Shakti, it is always eternally existing. But then sometimes we get confused when we hear, okay, there is a time when this was created. Right? Sometimes we hear some kind of statement in Shastra, it speaks like that. That means we need to understand Krishna is not limited. Krishna is unlimited. Even now also, something is happening. And how it is being facilitated? It is facilitated by his Swarupa Shakti. There is one cognitive potency, there is another one is existential potency, another one is pleasure-giving potency. These three potencies eternally exist with Krishna in the spiritual world. These are the activities of his Swarupa Shakti, and these energies, they are actually facilitating the pastimes of the Supreme Lord since time immemorial. And every time there is new thing happening. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibha Bhavitavi Davir Jevanirupataya. This Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. Krishna is enjoying the gopis, and you say these are all only transcendental exchange of the amorous pastime. No, even in Brahma Samhita, the 7th verse, it discusses about that Krishna's involvement in the matter of this cosmic creation is also an amorous pastime. See, such beautifully explained even in Brahma Samhita. So we should not misunderstand in any way that Krishna, when he is dancing with these gopis, means they are something different. No, they are Swarupa Shakti Vritti Vishesha. They are the manifestation of Krishna's Swarupa Shakti. What Swarupa Shakti means? Krishna Ananta Shakti Tatitin Pradhan Chik Shakti Maya Shakti Jiva Shakti Nam Antaranga Bahiranga Tapastha Kahijare Antaranga Swarup Shakti Savar. This Swarupa Shakti has got three divisions. What is that? Antaranga, sorry, Sandhini, Sambit, and Ladi. So these three potencies. So in that way, so who are these people Krishna is dancing with? So there, Prabhupada is speaking in purport. I just want to read out to you in another purport is saying. He marries exactly like us, but his marriage is neither mundane nor limited by our experience in the conditioned state. His wives, therefore, appear like mundane women, but factually, they are all transcendental liberated souls, perfect manifestations of internal energy. Perfect manifestations of internal energy. So whatever goes on in the spiritual world, they are the manifestations of Swarupa Shakti. That cannot be understood by applying our material calculation. What goes on in this material world, they are the interaction of his external energy. But the internal potency, or you can even say Swarupa Shakti, which is eternally existing in the spiritual world, Krishna actually deals with those Swarupa Shakti. Even when Krishna descends to this world, so Parsada Shivadham Sahavatari. Krishna has got no business here in this world to deal with the material energy. As we know, when Krishna, he wants to deal with the material energy, he expands himself as Mahavishnu. Then only he glances at Prakriti. That's how the creation takes place. But when he comes to this world, then what happens? He comes with its eternal associates. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, Swaparshada Sivadham Saha. He descends with his own abode and associates. And he performs his pastimes with those devotees. Why does he do that? Because by performing his pastimes, he gives us, the conditioned souls, an opportunity how we can meditate upon those pastimes and we can become purified too. So there's a difference between material activities and spiritual activity. What Krishna performs his pastimes are completely transcendental, spiritual. When we, for example, let us talk about, our children, why we don't want our children to look at those mundane things that are going on in the internet today, games. Why? Because, they become hunted by those kind of DJs and they become polluted, they become contaminated. Their thought process is polluted because they are looking at it, they are thinking about it, right? If you, by coming in contact with material association, your desires are getting polluted. What is the difficulty to understand? When you come across the transcendental activities, you can also become transcendental. You understand? Is it very difficult to understand this? We can understand it from our own experience, right? Even sometimes you can see on our own experience. Even a ordinary person can also understand this. When in the kind of in the Karmakandi world, they also perform some vrat, some vow, and they first they don't eat some non-veg stuff. They maintain a very clean consciousness. They invite a brahmana to perform this sacrifice or puja in the house, and you can see that they're very very sattvic. We can say like that. They remain on a mood of goodness for some time at least, right? How? Because they are kind of in touch with a pure activity. That is what Shastra recommends. Shastra is not confusing us. We are confused. We are not understanding Shastra properly. So Vyasdev said, no, he said, so Nagini said to Vyasdev, you have compiled all the Vedic literature, and in the name of Dharma, you just simply encourage people for sense gratification. That's what people just. Shastra is saying this means, oh, we can do this. No, Shastra is saying this because you are there to hook you up, to pick you up from where you are. Shastra is not saying that you do this and just remain there. There is an understanding, difference in understanding. Namna Balada Sai Papa. It says, one cannot even commit so much sin that can be eradicated by chanting once Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Oh, by chanting once, I can become free from the mountains of sin that cannot be committed. So then what? I can go on committing sin at the same time I can chant, I'll become over it. Some people think like that. No, that is not easier to understand. It has been said, that means if you don't commit any sin and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then it can bring you back to Godhead, give you love of Godhead. That is the explanation. Not that this is a kind of a tool now you have got. Okay, go, commit sin, then again by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra become purified. Okay, it is like a pond. You are playing outside, you become dirty, go to the pond, take bath, and again come back. Elephant belly. No. So that is the point. Here, when we see the explanation about who these personalities are, they are the manifestation of internal potency. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitavi Tavi Jiva Nigarupataya. They are the manifestation of the internal potency of Krishna. Rani is coming from Krishna, and then because there is still Krishna, and then from Radharani, it says all the Lakshmis are coming. Then the other entities all Shakti Tattva, they are coming from her. So actually, eternally Krishna is there, and all these energies are also there. In the spiritual world, they are acting as internal potency, and then external world, in the material world, they are acting as his external potency. When one understands this and looks at Krishna, how great he is maintaining everybody, he is taking care of everybody, supporting everybody, then his understanding becomes complete and pure, then he can be rightly situated in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, we all must read Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita on daily basis and stay Krishna conscious. Sometimes you can go to Vrindavan, Mayapur. Huh? Have you been to Mayapur? How many of you have been to Mayapur? Oh, only 1, 2. You are staying in Mayapur. So you are coming from there. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, 10, 11. You should all come to Mayapur. If you come to Mayapur, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will say, okay, now you have come to my place. I consider you as my own. You know, right? You have a special relationship with your near and dear one. They only come to your house. So if you have become devotee of Lord Chaitanya, you are chanting the holy name Mahamantra, you are reading Bhagavatam, you are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, then you should think that I am also one of the family members of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then you go there and you invite the consciousness that yes, Mahaprabhu, today I have visited your house, I stayed here, now I hope you accept me as your own, right? Tell him like this. Yes, you should accept me as your own. Because for so many years I was not coming to you. Now I have come to you. Sakala chhadiya asiyasi ami boliba dukkhera kata. I have given up everything, now I have come at least for a few days. Right? When you go from this place, you have to take holiday from your company. Chutti. Leave. And or maybe if you are doing business, then you have to see how maybe you can start on the business for some few days. That's what Sakala chhadiya. I gave up everything, now I come to your house. Why have you come here? Boliba dukkhera kata. I am going to submit my painful appeal to you. So what is that? Then you tell, I didn't know for so many lifetimes. I was wandering in this world, and I had totally forgotten you. Now by some or other, I have got some information about you. My Guru Maharaj has given me initiation. Now I know I'm chanting the holy name, and I'm reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. So please accept me as your own. Tell this much, then come back. No problem. All right. No problem. Like your son is born, you send him to study somewhere, right? What to do? But your son is not, he becomes your son. Sometimes he comes to your house to see, like today Father's Day. Yeah? You are feeling so happy. Even if he's not coming, Papa, how are you? 1 o'clock at night, calling this gentleman, he's a young one from Mayapur. This is the father and mother, child relationship. But you have to remind yourself that yes, I am your bona fide child. I'm a bona fide son. I'm listening what you are saying. And I want to continue what you say. In that way, come to Mayapur and stay with us for 2 days. We can help you to begin the Dham and know about Dham more and more and identify yourself. Revive your relationship with Krishna. When I was coming from Mayapur, our one of the co-directors, he met me. He said, so you are going for so many months. I'm out of Mayapur for 3 months. He said, wherever you go, remind everybody about Mayapur and invite them to come to Mayapur Dham. Bring Mayapur Dham with you. But of course, this is our duty. Wherever we go, we carry Mayapur Dham. So we are carrying Mayapur Dham and trying to invite all of you. Please come and stay with us for 2 days and take exclusive shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Remembering you are his child. Okay? You are his child. He is your father. He is waiting on this Father's Day. On behalf of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I am giving all invitation. At least make a phone call today, okay? You can, right? How you can make phone call? Tell me. Okay, chant one round, thinking Chaitanya Padmanabhan can. Mahaprabhu, he told that we can make you a phone call. So now this one round I'm chanting as a phone call to you, my dear Lord Chaitanya. Okay? Remember like this? Chant at least one round today. Then your Father's Day celebration will become complete celebration. Hare Krishna. Any question or comment? Yes, sir.
Question. You said, which one is the same thing?
Yes. What do you mean by that? What is confusion? Just tell me. You elaborate. Avayorantaram nasti. Satyam satyam vinarada Sridharadhani is saying. Avayorantaram nasti. There is no difference. Just like Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says, Radha Krishna Ekatma Vidyasadhari. Anyanya Vilasvasasparam. Sri Radha, Radha Krishna Pranam Vikriti Ladhi Shakti Rasat Asmat Ekatmanam Vidya. Ekatmana would be Pura since time there. Ekatmana. So there is no difference because there is a statement called Shakti, Shakti, Matayur. There is no difference between Shakti and Shakti. Energy and energy. Okay? So, in that way, yes, he is Shaktiman. Shaktiman Das, right?
So no difference.
No, he is Shaktiman Das. So, that is also another kind of fact. See, Tattvata, we need to understand who Krishna is first of all. There is a Lilavata Vichar and Bhaktivata Vichar. When Krishna performs his pastime, and we try to understand him by looking at his pastimes, if you are not clear about Tattva Gyan, then we will become confused. Therefore, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says, बुझे बा न बुझे के हो सुनिते से हो कि अद्भुत चैतन्य चरित कृष्ण को निवे प्रीति जानिले रसनीति सुनिले ही बड़ा है. And he said that Siddhanta baliya chitte na karo amas. Sometimes when we come across this conclusive philosophical understanding, and we become very much, lazy to understand this stuff. Because our mind in Kali Yuga is so dull. It doesn't want to understand, doesn't want to spend time in understanding this conclusive truth in form of Siddhantas. But Chaitanya Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says, na karo, don't become lazy. And yaha hoite lage Krishna Sudhira Manas. If you spend time in reading these philosophies, then your attraction towards Krishna will be fixed. Your mind will be fixed on the Lord's Spirit of Krishna. And then, when you read past times, when you hear, Gopi says, no, Brajavasi, that would accept Krishna is supreme personality in Godhead. Mother Yashoda, she didn't consider Krishna as supreme. She is thanking her son. When you read that statement, you actually enjoy her sense of happiness at that time. On the other hand, when the conclusive understanding, the tattva understanding is not clear to you, then you read such kind of pastime. You will start raising doubt. Well, Sudha Mata is saying, Allah is not he's my son, he is not God. Brajavasis are treating him, saying, no, this is no God, but no, Narayana Saman, no, it's happened like no, Narayana. He has the quality like Narayana. He is not actually, no, it's not very important. He is our son. Okay, he is our son. Oh, he is just a common man. No, because you don't have true understanding about the absolute truth. Therefore, you are having a doubt. On the other hand, when you have first gone through this philosophical understanding very clearly, just like we are quoting from Padma, why we are quoting from Padma? That is authority. And then you read those pastimes, you will be floating in ecstasy. That's what I'm saying. That people, why did Prabhupada said this? That you read from the past canto. Lot of philosophy, Bhagavad Gita first. Why? Because there's a lot of philosophy. So this philosophy, you understand Krishna's position clearly. Then when you come to 10th canto, sometimes there is a opposite explanation given, contradictory explanations are given. And those explanations are given to boost your love, your emotions to Krishna. And that will happen at that time. Therefore, Siddhanta, understanding about the Siddhanta is very, very important in the beginning. That is the foundation in Krishna consciousness. Why Prabhupada wanted us to do this Bhakti Shastra? How many have done Bhakti Shastra here? Yes, yeah. Okay, so those who have not completed, join with us. We are having online also nowadays. If you join, then you can know everything very nicely. Sitting at your home, just you have to log into your computer. Sometimes we have 1 class per week, 2 class per week. Sometimes we have got 5-6 classes per week. Anyway, whatever suits you, you can join. You can choose any group, and then read these books. Bhakti Shastra, then after that Bhakti Bible, Bhakti Vedanta. Prabhupada wanted you to read these books. If you don't do that, what will happen? Not good. Okay? Join with us. We are here to assist you, help you. Anything else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the nice class. And the question, you mentioned different kinds of Shaktis of energies of Krishna, the Chit and the Samvit and the Radhini, and then you also Swarup Shakti. So Swarup Shakti, how is that the Radhini Shakti or the
Swarup Shakti is for these 3 components. It is Samvit, Samvit and Radhini. So Krishna, Ananta Shakti, Prakriti, Purpura. Chit Shakti, Maya Shakti, Jiva Shakti. Antaranga, Bahiranga, Tatastha Kaijare, Antaranga, Swarup Shakti, Samaro. Okay. So, Chaitanya is PhD study, no? Means it has got everything. This is a very wonderful book which narrates philosophy like a story. Have you ever seen any philosopher describing a philosophy like a story? Therefore, if you come study Chaitanya class, that will teach you Chaitanya pure philosophy, but in a story form. Like I'm saying, Krishna, Ananta Shakti, Krishna has got unlimited potencies. Tate 3. All these unlimited potencies have been categorized into 3. Men. They all come in 3. Okay? What is it? Chit Shakti, Maya Shakti, Jiva Shakti. Which is called, in other words, Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti. Antaranga, Bahiranga, Tatastha Kaijare. Who are the Antaranga Shakti is the part of Sarupa Shakti, Nasabarupa. Antaranga Swarup Shakti. That belongs to Antaranga Shakti, which is also called as Swarupa Shakti. Then that Swarup and Bahiranga Shakti is this Maya energy. Okay. Then Tatastha Shakti is Jiva Shakti, marginal potency. That is you. Okay. You belong to Tatastha Shakti. So then this Swarup Shakti has got three components. That is called Sandhini, Sambit, and Lara. And Sandhini is his existential potency. That potency which describes about Krishna's existence in the spiritual world or his relationship with the material world. Okay? Sandhini. Then his existence, his existential potential. Then Sambit Shakti is his cognitive potency. That means by knowledge you can know him, and Krishna is known through this knowledge. Then that Ladini Shakti is called pleasure-giving potency. These three potencies constitute his Swarupa Shakti. And every potency has a figure that is called his embodiment. Srimati Radharani, she embodies the Ladini Shakti. Balaram is Sandhini Shakti, and Vasudeva is Sambit, Jnana Shakti. There is personality behind. They are not mundane. Neither Balaram, nor Vasudeva, nor Radharani. They are actually part of Swarupa. Even this Gopi here, just now we are not, there is concept of it, Swarupa Shakti. Vritti Vishesha. Ananda Chinmarasa Patibhavitavi Taviteva. Nija Rupataya. Nija Rupataya. बंगला में समझ सकते हैं, बहुत आसान है. निज रूपतया, है ना, आपने रूप ऐसा है, ऐसा ही है. कौन है वो? गोपियों ने आधार निकाल से प्रकाशित हुए हैं, बस बहुत आसानी से समझ सकते हैं. कला वृत्ति विशेष. So the desires of the gopis are perfect desires, which are the forms of the expansion of the forms of Srimati Radharani. Gopis are what? They are the expansions of the forms of Srimati Radharani. Their behavioral activities are meant for giving pleasure to Krishna. They are part of his Swarupa Shakti. भाई क्या है, समझ में क्या मुश्किल है इसमें? There is no confusion at all. Understand? Yeah. Very simple. As I was saying, Krishna is unlimited, and he is ever expanding. And we have a very kind of crippled way of understanding things with our limited brain capacity substance. Because we are limited, we try to see everything as limited. That is how Krishna is unlimited. His spiritual world is unlimited. Like it says, no, this is 1/3, that is 3/4, right? Ekapada Vibhuti, that is Tripada Vibhuti. You don't say like, okay, you bring a piece of paper, you cut it, this is 1 part, that is 3 part. It's not like that. That 3 part is also ever expanding. Krishna is unlimited. His spiritual world is also unlimited. You cannot understand this. It's not like, okay, 1 acre of land, then, how it is unlimited, expanding, then, today, okay, in 1 acre, you bring 1 family, then construct a house. Then after 3 months, you bring another family. Then after maybe 2-3 years, there is no space anymore to expand. So whole 1 acre is occupied. So your brain is calculating like that. Then you think, oh, how expanding, and there is space. Till then we say that is 3/4, this is 1/4. Arey Baba, that is for your understanding. It has been given that is 3/4. But still, Krishna is unlimited. His energy, his pastime, his activity, everything is ever expanding. Even today also is expanding. When you go there, you will know. we cannot understand this without limited capacity. We start calculating everything in terms of time and space. Because this world is bound by this time and space concept. It is not like that, the spiritual. Krishna is not like that. Annam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam. If there is every step increase of the spiritual ecstasy, then where is the limit? There is no limit. You think you can, when you go there, you will become so much immersed in serving Krishna in transcendental ecstasy, you don't bother about anything, what is going on around. But here everybody is busy. What is going on here, there, this country, that country, this man, that man, right? But there, everybody is enjoying their relationship with Krishna and they are fully satisfied in service. There is no conflict, there is no fight. Yes, there is also fight. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, no? Yes, there is fight. Yeah, Radharani is angry. Why Krishna is going to Braja Sakhi's place? I am not happy. But this is not on Monday. That is again, that fight is for giving pleasure to Krishna. That is under his antarangasana happening. So Krishna, to understand Krishna is not so easy. Even Krishna does not understand himself. He cannot understand himself. That is one understanding, and the another thing is also Krishna. He doesn't know why these devotees are so much attracted to him. What they are experiencing, as you said. That's why he came to Chaitanya. So Krishna cannot even understand himself. That is our God. That is our Krishna. He is unlimited. But I'm not here to confuse you. Please misunderstand. So this is how we can release Krishna consciousness. Krishna is so nice. कितने लोग हैं यहाँ जो मतलब पहली बार आए हैं? ऐसे कोई है यहाँ? Did anyone here come for the first time here? At least you know.
Lakshmi is from quite disciple. And she says he's sitting very quiet. Because I wanted to ask him something. Who said that? Somebody asked a question to Prabhupada, saying, Prabhupada, can Krishna make every rule that he cannot break himself? Prabhupada said yes, but the next second he can break it. You know who said that? Yeah, somebody asked a question, just like we say that, you know, Krishna is unlimited, he cannot understand. Yes, he can make something now, but nobody can break it, you know, can do, even himself. But the next God, he will know it. I think this Prabhu, he thought that he would be able to capture the Prabhupada about a question, different question about that fire. How many windows you have there?
Yeah.
Used to be, can Krishna make a rock
Yeah.
so big that he can't?
He can live.
Yeah. Sometimes I heard they said like, you know, say, this. So the Prabhupada, can your Krishna create a mountain which he cannot lift? If you say yes or no, either way he is trying. Okay, Krishna can create a mountain, he cannot lift. That means he is not God. No. He cannot create a mountain, he cannot. Okay, then he is not God. So what to do? Prabhupada said, that's why he said, yes, Krishna can create a mountain which he cannot lift. Then the next time he will lift it. That is why he is Krishna. That is why you cannot understand. No. Krishna is not limited. That you can understand him with your limited brain capacity. No, you cannot understand. Therefore, Krishna is saying, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam. Even jnana practice which is based on mental concoction. Manaso Julia. We can run faster than the mind. But when we surrender, no, Krishna, I cannot. Please, you reveal yourself, whatever degree you want, then make that degree, I can at least understand you, I can serve you. Then Krishna starts to reveal, and also he will reveal to you that particular way you are connected with him. You are in Daksharas, so okay, now you are my servant, you understand this. And you are also completely satisfied. What goes on in Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhu, that is not your goal, your area, even concern. That is Krishna. Essentially, Krishna cannot be understood by mental people and who are always relying on their personal capacity. Krishna also will make sure that, okay, you are to see me through this window, I'll ensure that you are there. No problem. When you know that you are also kind of a part of Krishna and you are trying to serve him, then Krishna says, all right, let me help this guy. And you help. Okay.
One question.
Yes, Mother.
Krishna created Krishna like a pleasure.
Hmm.
We know that. So in real
Hmm.
life,
Hmm.
we are all longing for love.
Hmm.
And it has created so many issues as far as trying to find the real love.
Hmm.
This true love, or whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
So I mean, and I have personally seen people who have been happily married, meaning they have some kind of understanding and love going on in their relationship, actually do have less health problems, and they deal with their stresses better. So it is important. It is important in this life to have that. So is it bad because to even think of from very teenagers and on and on throughout our life, we long for that love, but there is no love. There is no such thing. And as in Krishna consciousness, yes, I have learned that you start establishing your relationship with Krishna, and your family is consider them as Krishna's children and serve them as devotees. That is all good and fine, but for a regular person, they are doing, we have in this country, we have so many people looking for love, and they're doing wrong things repeatedly to find that love. How do you address that in real life at this point in the life? Is there any good solution for the?
There was a discussion among the rishis. They have experienced this. What is Sukha? What is real happiness? As you say. So
Somewhat can I answer? Like this is how we do, like we all looking for acceptance, appreciation, and care. That's what love is.
yes. So I'll explain to you. I'm just telling a story now. In the Veda it is explained that one time there was a debate, discussion going on between the rishis. What is Sukha? What is real happiness? How to find happiness? Then, after long debate, they came to understanding that Vibhu is real Sukha, means the Brahma. Brahma is Sukha. One meaning of Brahma is that which is ever expanding also. That's called Brahma. Okay. So that means our Shastra says the real happiness can be achieved by coming in contact with Brahma. That is real happiness, real Sukha. Then it coming to law. What actually people are looking for in law. And you said correctly, we get mental satisfaction, there is no disease, they're having a very healthy life, there's no tension, okay, in material sense, people are thinking like that, but you can also see it from the spiritual perspective. Okay, let's talk about this. Somebody who is attached to another person, maybe one boy, let's not talk about this real life experience in this world, a boy and girl. They're attached to each other, they're attracted to each other. For what? Because of the bodily illness. And then to some degree, because they have a good house, they have some wealth, they have nice facility, they're in a good job, earning good money. These are also peripheral things going on simultaneously. But at the same time, partly also some physical attraction is there, right? Whatever you say that maybe their sole point of getting attracted to each other for getting mental peace and satisfaction and happiness, whatever you may say, that may be based on their bodily beauty, attraction for the bodily beauty, or maybe attraction for the good earning, or maybe attraction for a good house, whatever you may say. What are all these objects? If you talk about this bodily beauty, that boy or girl, one day going to grow old, right? When they grow old, we have seen same persons as they are attracted to each other when they were young, when they grow old, that attraction is disappearing, right? Even though they had attraction for earning good money, same person is still alive. Now he is 80, maybe 90. He doesn't have that appetite to go to office for so many hours. That taste is already gone, right? Okay. House. You are thinking, I'll have one house in Atlanta, one house in Florida, one house in San Francisco, one house in Delhi, one house in Bombay, and he did that actually. And then sometimes he's flying here and there, stay in this house, sometimes for years or doesn't go. And now I think to maintain this house, one house here is very difficult for me now. Maybe I should go, like a one room apartment somewhere to stay. Have you seen sometimes? Yes. That means these material facilities, material facilities can satisfy you temporarily. In spite of all this, what I said, that gentleman who is still alive in a very old body, but he searches for sukha. The happiness is still there. But he is frustrated because when he sees the interaction with this material thing, which is gradually, which dwindles, body is dwindling, his mental power is also kind of reduced. So he cannot enjoy, but the quest, the desire, the search is still there. Therefore, we know that because you are eternal. Another example I can give you. In this part of the world, I think last time also I gave lecture this house last time, right? I remember. Huh?
Yes.
Okay, it looks like same. Maybe I'm confused. Okay, same people. Maybe you remember, I gave this example that you go to your supermarket today, not today, maybe sometime you see in 1 month they have launched a new product for cosmetics, for example, you can say. And then they advertise about that cosmetics so much so that they want to grab the attention of the whole world. And people also take interest in that and they purchase and they use it for some time because they feel make us happy, good, beauty. Okay. Then after a few months or maybe a year, you can see the same company be launching another new product. And he also advertises about that product very heavily. Okay, now we have got this new product, it will be this, that, you can be happy, you can be joyful. There's so many ways you can enjoy, you can satisfy yourself. And then people also go, okay, now let me go and buy that one. In this way, if you see in one person's lifetime, he comes across 10 or 20 different types of product. Every time he's thinking, if I go there, I use this, I take this, I'll be happy. And every time he is thinking like that, but his satisfaction is not complete. That means the quest for your satisfaction gives you a hint that you are looking for eternal happiness. The temporary happiness which is coming and disappearing is not making you happy because you are always searching for new. When is a new product coming? When is a new launch, coming in this company? I want to get that one. That desire is true, that you are eternal. That's why you are looking for eternal happiness. But you are searching for eternal happiness in a wrong place. That's why this is, I say, give the example. They are searching and finally they came to the conclusion, Brahmaiva Sukha. Nalpe Sukha Masti. Brahma is Sukha. In temporary material objects, there is no Sukha. But there can be temporary Sukha. This is what we meant to teach. That look, we are not against your materialistic life. We are not against your materialistic civilization. You may say, wow, what are you saying? You all preach against it, but I know, not like that we hate this material world. Okay, if you hate this material world, I will ask you your samples, why are you flying? Why are you using airplane? Why are you using computer? Why are you using mobile phone? You tell me your devotees are using or not. Then why are you blasting unnecessarily? You're mental. Yes. What are you saying? No, then you are using that everything. Why do you do that? Because our principle is Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe. Everything that can be implied in personal service, we accept. This whole world, creation is designed for that purpose only. Just now I was saying, the creation of this cosmos is also another amorous pastime of Krishna. Amorous pastime means, don't just see that like my bodily attraction, that is not some relationship attraction. That is not only called amorous. Amorous pastime means it's a rasa, there is an explanation, there is a relationship, there is an exchange of happiness, realization of happiness. When Krishna sees that he has created this world and we are taking advantage of every single object in his service. And how a person, by taking advantage of all these facilities in this world, he is becoming Krishna conscious. That is what giving the pleasure to Krishna. That is his amorous pastime. So now we need to understand this and tell people, explain people. Unfortunately, people are so much blind to spiritual subject because they can't see anything beyond this gross path. That is causing a trouble. But in truth, we have to explain them. Look, we are not against. Okay, you want to. How long can you enjoy? How long can you enjoy earning money? A person who is earning like maybe $15,000 a month, after a few years, he will say, no, I have to resign. If that was your sukh or happiness, my dear son, why are you quitting your job? That means you should know that is, of course, for temporarily it was giving you some satisfaction, but your core quest for the eternal happiness is still there. Why don't you search for that happiness? Why don't you get attached to that object which is going to give you eternal shelter, eternal happiness? What is that eternal happiness, you know? That eternal happiness is when you are in old age and you are sitting in one place, you are totally oblivious to what goes on around you. And you check your chanting bead on your hand and Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Or sometimes you start singing Guriyat Mare Samsare Asya Pera Tavyata. So I have forgotten you. Now I have been wandering this material world in 8,400,000 spirits of life. And because of my forgetfulness to you, I am actually suffering in this world, my dear. I just simply want to surrender unto you. I just simply want to serve you. And that time you are getting the highest form of happiness. That happiness cannot be explained just by words, what I am saying. that has to be experienced by the sadhaka. That is eternal. Even though body is no more in youth, even though there is not a good appetite to enjoy different food stuff, even though there is not power in the eyes to see colorful objects, even though there is no taste in the tongue, but still he is chanting, he is reading, he is remembering the beautiful pastimes of Vrindavan, and he is floating in ecstasy. That is, that search is necessary for every sadhaka. Therefore, this preparation is going on. Whatever you do, vidyam cha jastar veda mayam saya, avidyam nityam kritya vidyam dhamasnate. So you know vidya and avidya together. And then you understand the futility of avidya. Then you get attached to vidya through association of saintly personalities that will give you a taste for Krishna consciousness, which will help you to float in ecstasy when you are devoid of your bodily beauty, your wealth, comfortable living, anything. At that time you don't want anything actually. That is the real.
It is okay to tell them, okay, you take this medicine, you do this, and then pray. When I add like pray, I have the biggest question mark on the question. There are people who accept.
Good. Yeah, do you are a doctor?
Yes.
Good. Yes, tell them. Look, I am doctor. You know, I'm giving you this medicine. Originally, who has created? I'm not created this medicine, right?
They have that much, but
No, sometimes I mean to say, you tell them, look, people they think the medicine is going to cure you.
yeah, all this.
Medicine cannot cure you. I don't have a capacity. If medicine has the capacity to cure everybody, why so many people are dying today? That means there is something else. That is what I am telling you, that you should pray. Yeah, some other people tell them, connect them. Somebody else was asking. Another question.
You said that the associates come with the
Hmm.
Krishna aspect. Is the cows, the pigs,
Hmm.
is progenies like his kids, everybody are his internal associates.
You see, everything is there in Vrindavan. Definitely, because when Govardhan is there, there are these people, they're also there. But try to understand this. Your confusion I can understand. In this world, what happened? There are also pickles in this world. There's nothing here which is not there. Everything is there. That's why it's like here. The replica, no, we say. So what is happening? These pickles are mundane pickles. Okay. There might be a kind of living who is engaged in that particular species of life. But what is happening here? When these entities they take part, they take interest in Krishna Lila, Krishna's pastime, then Krishna's pastime actually purify them. When they become purified, there is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, in this first canto, it says, Kala pradurabhut kale tadit sodamini yatha. When they become perfect at the time of leaving the body, their eternal essence in the Swarupa is revealed by the Supreme Lord, just like there is a lightning and illumination occurs simultaneously. So the point here is, Krishna comes to perform this pastimes and attract these conditioned souls. When they are not purified, they will not enter into Krishna Lila. And when they are purified, they enter into Krishna Lila. When they go to the spiritual world to serve him in that capacity, that is Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhur. Okay? We don't speak so much about Santaras. Anyway, so Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhur. So he when goes to that world, spiritual world, after getting liberated from this conditioned life, there is no difference there. Why? Even in Krishna Bhagavatamrita, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur explains, when the gopis who are serving Krishna, intimate service, which is rendered by the gopis, the amount of satisfaction they get, the gopis, the manjaris who are assisting the gopis in that intimate pastime, they even experience higher sense of happiness. Oh, that we cannot understand. Because we are always looking for sensual perception. How can we understand? No, that is Vishnu Chakravarti explaining that. So that means when we go there after liberated, there is no difference, but still you remain at the Tatastha Shakti. And Swarupa Shakti always remains a Swarupa. Swarupa Shakti comes to this world to attract the Tatastha Shakti to Krishna's pastime. You understand? Little bit. So which part was not clear?
So the pick of the cows and
Mm.
everybody, when
Yes.
liberated, they again take the same form in the spiritual world.
Which cow is
The cows and the peacocks and all that, in the past and the monkeys.
that's what I said to you here. Kalo Pradurabhut Kale Tadit Sauda Mini Jatha. We are not sentimentalists. That's why I quoted these words. You read the comments of the Acharya in this first canto, Narmani's pastime. Kalo Pradur Abhut Kale Tadit Sauda Mini Yatha. Your Swarupa in the spiritual world is going to be revealed by Krishna the way you are committed to your sadhana practice. That is going to help you. That is going to oblige Krishna to reveal your spiritual Swarupa in the spiritual world. That is not something that you can concoct and I can just discuss with you and I'm that kind of fool you like some gurus in this world. Oh, you don't know you are such Sakhi, you are this, that. What is this? I am giving Bhagavatam. Kala Pradurabhut Kala Tarit Saudamini Jatha. Simultaneously, there is an occurrence of lightning and illumination. Similarly, Krishna is going to reveal that what happened to the Narad we are sadhaka, we are putting sadhana bhakti. So that is our way. And if you talk about even Raganga Bhakti, so what Prabhupada just explained, by performing sadhana bhakti, and Vidhi Marga Pradane, Swadhina Taratma Jane, Raga Marge Parahana Pravesh, Raga Vasavarti Hai, Purokya Bhavasray, Lave Jeev Krishna Premavesh. There is also a way how somebody can also go to the Raganga Bhakti to understand Krishna. I mean to say there is a lot. The Bhakti Tattva Sar is like not the subject matter we can understand in one sitting. So the understanding is whether he is going to become there as a cow or a peacock, that is up to Krishna and Guru to decide. Now our duty is to serve him right now, wholeheartedly, purely, without having any attachment, any string attached to our desires. Then it is a Kala Pradu, Kala Tarisya. That is our way. When you become qualified, your company is going to give you promotion or not. So you join in a company. When your CEO finds you are qualified, he automatically gives you promotion or not. What is the difficulty in understanding this? You just entered into Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. You perform Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, you qualify yourself. Promotion is going to automatically come from the boss. You understand? So whether he is going to become the cow, Surabhi Rahi Pala, there is Surabhi cow, of course there. Although why promotion is saying? Isn't it? There's no Surabhi cow. Yes, there's no Surabhi cow there. Trees are there, Kalpavriksha trees are there. Whether somebody is going to become born as a Kalpavriksha tree to serve Krishna, that's okay. That's between Krishna and that Jiva. That may happen. So what you want to understand this concept, this tattva clearly, then you become a sincere sadhaka in Krishna consciousness. That is what in your control, under your capacity. You can do that. Then everything becomes, then everything brightens up. Become very clearly. Does it make sense? Clarify some confusion? You understood? I am happy. No, we are here to kind of, not to confuse you by speaking so many siddhantas and putting this verse, that verse, saying, giving a very complicated presentation. What is the use of giving a complicated presentation if your doubts are not clear? That's what I am saying, that unless my question, devotee who ask question, their doubts are not clear, I don't want to leave them in that consciousness.
Confused with the.
Okay, thank you.
Another question?
No question, right? Okay. Start with Harinam and end with Harinam. No prasadam today. Because today is Father's Day. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Yes. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste सुंदरी भगवान की भक्त प्रबल प्रहलाद महाराज की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की निताई गौर ब्रह्मानंदे